I've always been interested in making sounds. I kind of never really thought of it as music as such, and it was never really intended for anybody else to listen to. It's just a kind of a way of avoiding sleep for me. I've said it's kind of a bit like smashing square pegs through round holes. It's kind of probably the most clumsy way of making music possible on a computer. I don't really want to be proficient at using the instruments, because I'm not really interested in the conventional sounds that come out of them. It was a case of kind of going through 15 hours of stuff and just trying to work out what would work, and then reworking a lot of that stuff to make it work, and eventually ending up with the 13 tracks of our Luftbobler. I'm more interested in the wrong way of doing things than the right way. So my approach has been to kind of like sort of crush things together that kind of don't really work until hopefully they do work. You know, I mean, rediscovering sort of Ortega and kind of, you know, trying to figure out what their music's about, and I mean, Scott Walker was a recent discovery for me, and a lot of film soundtracks. When I watch films, I don't tend to notice the music very much, because it's doing its job properly. But then as soon as you kind of listen to the music without watching the film, it adds another layer, and you have to supply the narrative. And I'm quite interested in sort of making music or sounds or soundscapes that imply a narrative. I like the idea that the sound has character. Each particular sound has its own particular character, and they kind of populate a kind of a landscape. Films and music try really hard to get along. I didn't want to make any sort of strict narrative for the music, so it's kind of, you know, So It Goes with the kind of New York skyline going past. I mean, just mucking around with you know, time, reversing them, changing the colours, just to make them kind of not painterly, but kind of, you know, not just films. I like to think of it as kind of the future envisaged kind of in a slightly crappy 70s way. So it's kind of, you know, I mean, I think science fiction belongs to the 70s. You know, that kind of hopeful, utopian sort of, but slightly crappy version of the future. I think bricolage is sort of, you know, a key word for, I guess, what I'm doing. It's wantonly clumsy. You know, and I think that's, you know, I mean, I think that's kind of something that I kind of look for in other people's music that I like. I want to know how to make sort of, you know, things sound a little bit sort of crappier and a bit broken. My generation of artists all started at a time when nobody was particularly interested in looking at what we were doing. We did things because we wanted to do them, and we didn't really worry too much about the audience. And I think that attitude seems to be kind of current in a lot of, you know, computer generated music. And you compare that to what's happening at the Brits. I know which side I'm interested in. You know, it's, you know, I don't know. It doesn't cost much to make. You don't have to worry about making money from it. So you can do what you want. You can make, you know, anything's possible. It's just down to whether or not, you know, people are prepared to listen to it, or that's fine. Don't care about them. Don't care about the trolls.